that kid annoying you? It's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, that kid's annoying me too. It's like, well, either we're both crazy in the same way. Now, you're both crazy. But are you crazy in the same way? And the answer to that's probably not. So if you're both thinking something together, there's a reasonable probability that the two of you are right. And so then you can think, well, if this kid's driving us crazy, given that together we're not out of our minds, hopefully, if he's driving us crazy, then he's probably not going to be very popular with anyone else. And then that's a good time to think, well, do we want an unpopular and miserable child? And the answer might be yes, because sometimes they won't leave home. And if you have no other purpose in life than to devote yourself entirely to a dependent child, then crippling them socially is a really lovely way to attain that. And if you don't think that happens, then you're the sort of naive person who will eventually run into someone malevolent and learn just how naive you are. And so in any case, you have a responsibility with regards to your children to not let them do things that make you dislike them. And if they're doing things that make you dislike them, despite the fact that you love them, you can imagine the effect that's having on other people. And you got to ask yourself too, how do you want your children to be treated when they go out in public? Most people will give children the benefit of the doubt. One of the things that was so lovely, I lived in Montreal when I first had young kids. And I lived in a rough neighborhood. It was a working class neighborhood. It was quite poor. Most of the people were uneducated in sort of multi-generational way. It was a rough neighborhood. And we had Michaela, my daughter, and we used to zoom around in her stroller. And it was so fun because you'd see these rough guys walking down the street, tough-looking guys. You'd give them a bit of a berth on the street, generally speaking, and they just break into a smile and, coochie-coo her, and it brings out the best in people. It's so lovely to see that. It's one of the things that you don't know before you become a parent, is that you become a parent, you enter this little club of other parents that you didn't even know existed, but you also get to see the best of people in a way you never did before, and that's lovely. And so people are willing to give your children the benefit of the doubt. You want to facilitate that by having your child act in a manner that heightens the probability that that's how people are going to act towards them. And then instead, a misbehaving child, I've had plenty of experience with this sort of thing in all sorts of ways. A misbehaving child lives in a world of adult falsity because nobody really wants the child around. And so everywhere they go, there are forced and strained smiles and bare tolerance. That's a little bit of hell, that is. And the alternative is, well, your child is properly socialized. And everyone's happy to have them around. And then wherever they go, everyone's happy to have them around. And then they make friends, and adults are much more likely to interact with them in a positive way. And that's what you want to give that to your kids. Well, unless you want the other outcome that I described. Or maybe you're jealous of your children because you're old and you're bitter, and you see your child flourishing in some way that you didn't get to, and you want to knock that the hell out of them. And that's another pathway to take too. But, that's a good little trick.